It's always a pleasure working with Heather. She's such a dynamic personality and someone who is capable of making things happen. Heather had heard about a program in Sierra Leone run by World Hope International that she was very interested in. And so Heather decided to introduce me to World Hope. And I went out on an initial kind of fact-finding trip. Up till that point, I'd really just been working on lower limbs, but many of the amputations in Sierra Leone were of upper limbs. And World Hope were fitting an American limb system at the time, which cost about $500 per limb. And I set about redesigning that system, adding some other little features, and we managed to get that price down to about $15. Really, it's a matter of producing a good quality limb system, using the resources that are there. So do spend a lot of time going around in cars, shouting stop when you drive past and see something interesting. It's taken me about 18 months to find this material in Sierra Leone. And it's always a wonderful surprise, really, when you see something that you desperately need, and you just find it in the most unlikely places. We started off using PVC waste pipe, trying to find a thermoplastic material that we could form over the positive models of the person's residual limb. It's a very simple process. We take a model of the amputee's residual limb with plaster bandage, and then fill that with plaster of Paris to make this positive model. And we then take a sheet of plastic, heat it up in an oven, and drape it over that model. For a long time we were using PVC, which we were reinforcing with glass fibre, but we were having to get the glass fibre from Guinea, which is a country very close to Sierra Leone. And the results really weren't that satisfactory, and we were finding that the resin was going hard in the environment. It's a very moist environment in Sierra Leone. So what we're using now is high-density polyethylene sherry barrel, because the British very thoughtfully are importing sherry in these great 55-gallon drums to Sierra Leone. And so we found that this is really an excellent material to produce sockets with. The essence of what I'm trying to do is to leave Sierra Leone with an entire range of limbs that they can produce on their own without any outside input at all. It's vitally important to make sure that the processes are well understood by people and that they genuinely can produce these parts on their own without assistance.